So, club, today our new conspiracy is Jim Carrey's Brent Miller. This document was handed to me last night before my office closed, after we just finished our deal on whether or not the lunchroom is serving horse meat. So this is our new one. We gotta dive deep, hit the facts hard, interview some people, and get to the bottom of this. I think this is a very strong case, and I think with the type of minds that we have in this club, we can find out the real information. Initial thoughts, Dalton?
Well, Jack, one thing that I was thinking about is we proved the horse meat theory correct, and I feel like that was a lot harder to connect than this is. So I think this is something that we can definitely put together and piece together. One initial thought that kind of comes to my head here is, have you ever seen them in the same place before?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either, and that kind of raises some more questions on what's their past been like, because we haven't heard of Brent Miller before he was principal.
True.
And we haven't heard from Jim Carrey for a long time.
Yeah.
So where can we connect them? Where do their past correlate? And what got them here today?
Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, Jim Carrey hasn't acted in a couple years, maybe a couple small roles, maybe like a couple winter breaks or spring breaks,
Yeah,
or
summer
breaks.
even,
Yeah. But yeah, Brent Miller just kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't know who he was until they announced this summer. So who knows?
And too, lately Jim Carrey, he's had a beard. Do you think he's trying to throw us off here? Maybe heard about the paperwork we got, or what do you think the deal is there?
Yeah, because the West Branch of the Conspiracy Club have been diving deep in this for a while, but I don't think they have the strong enough researchers. That's why they handed me the document, because they knew that the main branch of the Conspiracy Club could get to the bottom of this and figure out what is going on. So I think Jim Carrey, Brent Miller, got wind of this, and I think that's why he starts wearing the beard. He is clean shaven.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, and I think our first step is kind of seeing, where Jim Carrey is now. I mean, do we know where he is? Is he in our school? I think once we find out where that is, and maybe where their paths could have crossed, we can prove it and put the puzzle together.
And I think interviews will be a strong asset to us. I think we should interview the source, go to Miller Carey, and then maybe some students or some co-workers, because not a lot of information's out there on Miller Carey. So I feel like the more testimonials we get, the stronger our case will be.
All right, well, I think we got a good plan here. I think we'll get to it.
Let's go. We're here with another longtime teacher at Western Boone, econ teacher, Mr. Riggins. Mr. Riggins, do you think there's any correlation to Jim Carrey not making movies and Brent Miller now being the principal at Webo?
There's been a lot of talk about that. A lot of students talk about that there may be some, correlation with that. There's all kinds of conspiracies out there. There's been the JFK conspiracy. Now there's this conspiracy. So as far as conspiracies go, it's pretty high up there, I think.
I know teachers aren't supposed to give their personal beliefs, but what do you think about this?
That's a tough call, because there's you can do the side-by-sides and it makes somebody think, you seriously got to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a tough one.
Well, hopefully when this documentary comes out that we can definitely sway you to the full side.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
No.
All right, we're here with another longtime Western Boone teacher. We've already interviewed two teachers that believe in the conspiracy or somewhat do. But Mr. Brunny's always been known to go against the Western Boone conspiracies, so we'll see his opinion. So, Mr. Brunny, I'm sure you've heard of the Jim Carrey, Brent Miller conspiracy. Please tell me your thoughts.
I think it's outrageous.
Yeah.
I think I've known Mr. Miller for going on almost 20 years, and I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey, and I think they have two completely different schedules, so I don't think it's true at all.
So you don't think that the stop of making movies for Jim Carrey and then the recent becoming principal for Mr. Miller has any correlation?
I don't, because just a little quick background check on Mr. Miller. He was a principal at a school very close to here for years before Western Boone. So I think that dispels that theory.
We have no clue what he's talking about. Thank you for your time. We're here with Mr. Dale, longtime teacher at Western Boone, and we're going to ask him some questions on what he thinks about Jim Carrey and Brent Miller. So, Mr. Dale, Mr. Miller's been a principal here for about a year, and Jim Carrey has stopped making movies for about 2 years. What do you think about this?
Well, I knew Brent Miller years ago when he was a science teacher and a AD, and something doesn't seem right. I mean, he doesn't seem like the same guy at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks a little different, acts a little different, and it's like, you know, say, hey, Brent, can you tell me a lie? He says, no, I can't tell lies, and he's very blunt. And then sometimes he says, you know, I feel the whole life is made about me, like, you know, the Brent Miller show or
Yeah.
something. So I'm thinking it's a good possibility they're the same person.
So, can you tell me any movies you know that Jim Carrey's in?
Liar, Liar, where he has trouble, he has to tell the truth.
Oh, yeah.
The Truman Show, where he thinks the whole movie's made about him. And Dumb and Dumber. I can't say there's a relationship there. But it's a strange coincidence, yes. I'll give you that.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna sit in this one right here.
Okay. All right, so that was a good round of interviewing, team. We had
Good job, guys.
we had lots of good interviews. So Riggins, he said that teachers talk and the students have been talking, so therefore other people know that this is going
And
on.
you know, I think, you know, most of us can agree that we've heard rumors about this prior to us getting the actual information. So.
Exactly. He said he's on the fence, and that if we bring up some good information, that we can easily sway him. Dale had great testimony, and he said, quote unquote, from Miller, that he sometimes thinks that his life is all about him, that it's like the Brent Miller show, and that sometimes he can't lie. And then Sparks, we interviewed her, and Miller was conveniently just not there.
You know, like where, and you know, that raises even more questions. Like, where is he? Does he do this periodically through the week? I mean, is this, you know, what's going on here?
Who's running this school? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
He can't be leaving just like that. We got to know what's going on. I think it's for filming or something. So something's going on, and we're gonna interview Miller next because we got to find out what is going on.
If he's here ever again, you
Yeah.
know, he might hit the road jack and left. So
Yeah, we got to get to the bottom of this.
Yep.
Let's go.
Good job.
Fight Club. So after weeks of extensive research and reaching out to Mr. Miller, he has not been at school, and so we have not been able to interview him. And we just got word that there's a new Jim Carrey movie coming out, so you can put two and two together. Hopefully, after this research we got going on, we can actually open the investigation back up and talk to him. But as of right now, we have just our knowledge that we've gathered through this investigation. So you decide if Jim Carrey is Brent Miller. That's all we have. Thank you.